Yeah, so what's up, Facebook? It's your boy G.N.L Zamba, Mr. Content, Chapa Kubuli Continent, or Baboon for us entertainment. And up next, I'm going to be up on, oh, this is YouTube. Let me switch my people on Facebook on too. Yeah, so like I was saying, Mr. Content, Nanyeli Continent, or Baboon for us entertainment. Nsimbi tulero pia chizita chichigwera mu buwumbi ku bank statement. Right now, we're about to do a GNL slash Nsimbi interview right at our quarantine hideaway. And everybody online, I really appreciate you. I appreciate your love and support for our music, and also coming through to this channel, listening to us. So I'm going to be waiting for an interview, or we're going to be doing the interview, and the interview with is on HTV. If you haven't checked out HTV, go check it out. It's broadcasting all through East Africa and also online. So that's what we are preparing for. And if you want to chat as we wait for the signal to come on, we'll be ready for you. Yeah, I can see my coordinator is telling me I'm already in now. Hold on just a second. Let me give myself a drink. I love to have a drink as we're coordinating things like this, because I know it's going to be like a real deep talk, and I like to be free with my people as we're communicating. Bobanga oli ku Facebook, oli ku Instagram, oli ku YouTube, wena. I appreciate all the love coming through wherever that you may be. Right now on HTV, if you have to check it out, it's our video that we did, a very amazing video. Twawiningirako na award. Sawa zino gyendabe eri ku TV, ku HTV, and on this video, we won the World Beat Award. They had the best World Beat Song of the Year, and that was Dunia ni Matembezi. CC. It looks good when I'm capturing myself on camera, because I can tell my mom that I was on TV. She doesn't believe me when I tell her that, oh, mutabani we yabadde ku TV. Tabi believing ye. Tell her about TV. So nowadays I can just capture clips like this for her and tell her, your son was on TV. Nagamba, wow, what TV? Then I show her. So this is where we are, about to do this monumental interview. Monumental, whatever. Mugamba kiba kyalibanga abali ku Facebook, abali ku Instagram, no, Instagram sinabateekako, abali ku mukutu gyonna ejempewo. Right now ndi kukola interview ya G.N.L then Nsimbi. Twafulumiriza oluyimba baluyita searching, olukutte ensi yonna ne gikukwatako ku mwoyo, kubanga oluyimba lwa kuinspiringa mukwano mu nsi yonna. Abali e Germany batuwuliriza, abali mu UK, abali Dubai, abali mu Africa batuwuliriza, n'abali mu US batuwuliriza. So oluyimba baluyita searching, nze na directing a video, then mukyala wange n'ayimba vocals, oluyimba lwa kabi. We hope that it can inspire everybody when the situation is pretty really hard, that if love is the answer, we can do so much. But if we put hatred forward, that means that we can't even move the very, very first step. So I appreciate all of you being here on these channels. I'm waiting for that interview with my boy Eddie Okila. And then I'll show you what goes on after there. So B, I'm online on Facebook and YouTube, and he has our thing up. And so we're just ready, but we are already live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook, and this is our camera. So we're going to be facing over there.
Yeah, I'll be joining for the second part. Just saying hi to everyone.
Yeah. You might have to be louder than that because they are farther, you know.
Oh right, I have to be very loud.
Okay.
How's everyone doing on this? Oh, it's Sunday. We're having a nice quiet weekend for the most part. Yesterday we took a walk with some friends, and then it was raining and we kept walking.
Yes, we are taking long with us seeing this friend. Shout out to Thatcher. We could read some greetings for a change. I'm not usually reading.
Thatcher, Kara Abdullah, it's a really nice song. Shout out to you.
Inzama, Robin.
Any words for the current beef between UG and Sierra Leone?
Uganda's beef with Sierra Leone. I didn't even know about that.
Anytime there's country beef, we're not for.
We are not. By the way, we are the kinds. Our brand does not deal.
We like steak. We do like to eat a good steak
We don't do beef. Our brand is about
an occasional hamburger here or there.
Yeah.
But otherwise, beefing. You can't generalize any group of people. So any type of beefing doesn't.
No.
Make sense.
Here's my question. Hear me out. What's a country? We are all African. This whole stupidity of their borders that were drawn that don't even mean anything to us.
Borders drawn by Europeans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love. What's good, bro? What's good?
See you guys later. I'll be back.
Let me turn up the volume.
The great story of Nsimbi. And you stay right there. We are bringing you G.N.L Zamba live from the United States of America in the lockdown.
I'm in the lockdown, bro.
It was the great story of Nsimbi, the new project, and of course the story of G.N.L. He wrote something very interesting today on Twitter saying the hard knock story of Kampala and how I went through the lessons, the learnings, and sharing. So he's coming up on the show today. Stay right there. We'll be hanging out with G.N.L Zamba, Nsimbi, and of course Mr. and Mrs. Those are three different people for your information. There's G.N.L Zamba, the rapper. There's G.N.L and Mrs. G.N.L Zamba, and then there's Nsimbi. Don't mix things. We're going to have a journey of these guys. All right, Kampala, and we're live on Facebook, House of Talent. You
come through
there and make sure you share the story with your friends. And we're live on Twitter at HTV1 Uganda. We are live there. Make sure you share that with your friend, and please make sure everybody gets the story. This is the first time G.N.L is going to be talking with his wife about this project of cross-cultural learnings of love. The story of love, cross-cultural learnings of peace building is what we're going to be talking about. All right, and this is going to be really great having these guys. And of course on YouTube, 766 subscribers. We need to hit target of 1,000. Okay, today with G.N.L Zamba right away. And to all the 1.8 million people Ugandan diaspora, this one here is for you. Share it with all your brothers and sisters all across. Let's go for a break, and when we come back, G.N.L Zamba will be telling us the story of what happened. And I like that song Dunia, and I want to just go and give you a test of what we're talking about. All right, let's do a test of what we're talking about right here.
I thought the interview had started. I was like, oh.
Hey, Muje, who has never seen? Have you ever seen our video for Muje? But when you saw a video of Muje, then you don't know anything about Insimbi music. Go over or the YouTube channel or on your video Muje. But if you have never seen Muje, then you have no right to even speak about Insimbi music. You have no right to criticize it or praise it. Genda or the video ya Muje. I love this video. In the video Yakabi, I don't care what anybody says in the video Yakabi, because it has all the African symbols. It has
Yeah. When we say African, we mean like from the continent, from Egypt.
Yes.
Down.
Egypt, Morocco, to the stars. Look, what's your favorite part about this video? What's your favorite part about this video?
My favorite part. We had a couple dancers, Chaos,
and, yes. What's the girl's name? I'm forgetting the girl's name.
I know, I'm trying to remember her name.
Teresa.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking of who was dancing with Chaos, in the duet dancing. They just did some incredible dance.
She's in Atlanta right now.
Yeah, she moved from LA, but just that was the highlight of the video, to have amazing dancers. So choreographed by Dante.
Entebekere magana bana to wakana kolagana ne banno. Entebekere magana bana to wakana tabagana ne banno. We have so many greetings to read out. Komwa Python is like baboons. I appreciate that. I am the first today. That was Mania Brian saying you were the first to comment.
Josh,
you're like, wow, I'm watching.
Dope.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You're like, I'm watching, bro. The Rainbow is like Boasinga. BFE Rhyme Empire. It's a really nice song that was Thatcher. Watching you guys, that's Bika Atamotere Fred. I'm watching with you. Yeah, we've already commented about that. We don't believe in any beef between Africans because it should be any beef actually anyway in any part of the world we don't believe in.
You just skipped Big Arthur. Thanks to Mark.
Oh, thanks to Mark for the vocal. Oh, okay,
thanks
okay,
for
Arthur.
appreciating.
Okay, Arthur, I see you. I see you. Shabira, I see you. Kwendi nyo legendary Zambo, yabade Rags propaganda. I don't know what that's about. Jamal is watching, Millie Il is watching, Samson is watching. Someone's like, boom! Love and inspiration, the key to BFE. Thanks, Nsimbi, so much love.
Abby.
From that was from Seka. What do you say?
Seka Sambu.
Oh, that's good. That's good. It's not Seka Sambu.
What is it?
Seka Sambu.
Seka Sambu.
Yes.
Seka Sambu.
Yeah. Chimba Dauda is watching us. Wycliffe and Oteka are watching us. Basically, we are here preparing for our interview with HTV. If you can tune into HTV right now, that's where the interview is happening. Right now, they are playing our video of one of the my favorite Nsimbi videos. It's called Moje. And then after that, we're going to be doing the interview with Eddie. I hope you can hear everything. That's the sound of the video that's playing. And then our voices over that. Thank you for joining us on YouTube. Make sure that before you leave, you subscribe. We have new content dropping for you in the next week. We have so much stuff. You can watch our live videos on the YouTube channel. You can watch Miriam doing her thing as we are recording our next EP, which is Infinity. I shared the video when we were in studio. We recorded that in Uganda, so we're really proud of that.
Behind the scenes a few months ago in Uganda from recording. Yep.
In Uganda or Uganda?
Uganda.
In Wakanda?
In Wakanda. Shout out to... Oh, I think the interview is about to start.
Yeah, you're in it.
I thought you were doing yours first.
No, it's a Nsimbi interview.
Are you sure?
So, yeah.
I think you're talking
this
first.
This is a G.N.L
I'm really
interview.
confused. I wasn't...
Black, white, yellow, and red.
Where do we look for the interview? Where's the camera?
Over there. That's
where?
The one. There.
We're looking into this?
Yes, the iPad.
Oh.
Yes.
I thought you were talking first and then I was joining you.
I don't think that's how it's happening because when you sent me the promo.
Yeah. On the world and in the world. Let's come and let's start with G.N.L Zamba and his wife who are already up here, and I'd like to bring them on the show right now and let's have a chat with the one and only G.N.L Zamba and tell the great story behind the good music. I got my colleague in studio saying that these guys are taking so much time to make some good music which is not being appreciated across the world. Are people mad? And I told Arnold, I said, yeah, they're going to be fine when the music starts to hit the road. So it's time for us, ladies and gentlemen, all across the world to bring Nsimbi.
Yeah. How you doing, brother?
How are you doing, you guys? And I just wanted to speak to us right now. How are you doing, Mr. and Mrs. Zamba, and the great story of Nsimbi? How are you guys doing?
We are doing great. How are you doing, Miriam?
I'm doing well, yeah.
Yeah, we are chilling. We're enjoying. This is a great opportunity. First of all, catching up with you because we have a history. I've known you for a very, very long time. And now Miriam, who has also heard of your name but hasn't seen your face, is right now meeting you through HTV.
Okay. G.N.L, I would like for you guys to just move a little bit closer so that we can get your audio while show.
Oh, you can't hear us clearly. Let me see.
Can't hear Miriam very well. Can you a little bit so we can hear you?
Oh yeah, just hold on a second.
All right. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to just ask these guys, how is it like to be Mrs. Zamba? First of all, Miriam, let me start with you. You can speak Swahili. I'm told you eat boho better than me, who is born, bred, and battered in the northern part of Uganda. I want to just know.
Ndio sijui
and when did you learn how to eat boho in my?
Ndio yeah, I love bo kitongweno and pasted beef because I was in Gulu for some time. But nilisoma kuwa chuo kikuu cha Dar es Salaam, and that's why I know some Swahili. But how's the sound now? I'm thinking this side. I'll be closer. You
Okay,
can
yeah, I can move over there. Yeah.
My as loud as this one.
Is a rapper. Rappers, are meant to talk. Earlier on, I was hosting Baba Luku on the program, and he was louder than me. And guys in the studio were saying, "Nah, you're audio. I said, "That's the nature. Rappers are always talking, so they are better at talking than us who don't really, do the music." But guys, thank you very much, and welcome to the program. I just want to bring you guys up on the screen so we can talk to both of you at the same time, and we have a discussion. How are you guys doing? How is the United States? How's the lockdown? What is going on? Are you fine? Is the family doing well? How is the life like when you're not going on stage to sing, when everything is just like, it's like all hell has broken loose for musicians and for entertainment industry all across the world. I talked to Russ Visali yesterday, G.N.L Zamba, and he was saying I've resorted to riding bicycles and around and getting fit because our industry is still locked down and we don't know when we're going to come back. So how is life like? Let's start with you were in Uganda just before the lockdown, and I was expecting to meet both of you and take you to go and eat some konkal, bo, and malakwang, and then the next thing I know, you guys are vanished, and then you are back to the States. I was wondering, how did they live? Were in the lockdown? G.N.L, what happened? How did you guys survive being locked down in Uganda like Babaluku?
Because we are ninjas. Miriam is a ninja, and she has taught me some ninja tactics that you can never be locked down in one place. You can always escape and go to and escape any situation which you're locked down in. So she's a ninja. That is her day job. In the night, she becomes a musician. But Sally Rusby is a very good friend of mine. I think he was part of the team that helped me organize Koi Koi. COVID has really been devastating to the music industry, but it's a precursor of where we are going as a society. That this is going to be the new normal. Like, it has helped to leapfrog the entertainment industry 5 years ahead, because everybody has been talking about existing online and creating an economy online, but none of them was like Baba Deva Chalembe Demo Molembe Gwa tape. Yet we are already in the era which is digital. And I wrote very recently. I wrote a piece on my website, which is like a blog called The Teachable Moment, and I was sharing how an artist can survive without being on stage. And I was giving examples of artists and composers that all of us can exist without even touching the stage at all, because our brains and our creativity is where our power lies. It isn't on waiting for the call from a promoter in order to survive. And I started demonstrating this way back, as far back as 2014, when I told Douglas that I don't need to be on stage to make money as G.N.L, because I can always find ways to make money, either through endorsements, through compositions, or through scoring movies and doing so many other works. Much as we as Nsimbi love being on stage, we were scheduled to be performing in Israel. Was that June? Around June, in June, and then we're also scheduled to be performing in Detroit. We love being on stage, but COVID is one of those situations that has showed, which has proven the point which I've always been telling people, that as an artist, you must diversify the way that you earn, and that you don't need to only be on stage in order to earn or survive and thrive as an artist?
Wow, that's really
We just lost you.
We lost you.
okay.
You're back. You're back.
Well,
Yeah.
now, G.N.L, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So G.N.L, really, it's great to hear you guys. For that, many people think that COVID is doom and gloom. Everything is just doom, and you have to be gloomy. But I think that COVID has presented a big opportunity, like you said, to the entertainment industry, but also to the communication and media industry all across. For us to be in this time at this place, to be able to think about the future, which we were struggling to get to, things that we couldn't do without COVID. COVID has a plus and minus to me, and I think that we're doing very well as far as we as a people are concerned. And I want
It's
to
8 o'clock.
that those who are going to remain behind are going to be those people who don't think. Full of people who don't think, people who just want to take it on a silver plate, people who never fly. So those who have sort of like, abdicated the duty of thinking to others are going to struggle.
Yes.
Yes, but people like you who started thinking ahead of time as far back as 2014 and 2015, you can see you're not stressed. I'm not seeing you stressed like others. I've been talking to artists and start, oh man, Eddie, man, things are hard, man.
Yeah.
We need to be on stage. We can't do this. I know what is going on. I think you need to start thinking as an artist to see where you're going, now, and probably just appreciate what has happened going forward. But that's great to hear from you. I want to talk to your wife. What is it like to be married to that man?
Well, obviously, I love being with him. We've been together now, I think, about 8 years. So I almost don't remember not being with him. But I think, well, he always says it's like iron sharpens iron. We're both artistic. We both have a lot of ideas, but we're also very different in a lot of ways. He's sort of the big ideas, and I'm sort of the business and reality. So he's a little bit more of the anything's possible, and I'm a little bit more realistic, pessimistic. So together, then we're able to actually make things happen. Where we're completely balanced is in the creative space. So in the creative space, we can just really enjoy each other and share and just build and have a great time. And in the business sphere, we just really push each other until we get to
where it makes sense.
Yeah, to where it makes sense and we can produce. So I would say we argue in an amicable way when we're making business. And
it's a debate. I would like to call it a debate. Yeah.
But we enjoy debating.
Yes.
We both enjoy that a lot.
Yeah.
So I always want to be with someone who's really kind and funny. And that's what I found in him. And then it's just been a bonus that we share so many values beyond creativity. So we come from totally different places, but for some reason
our interests are the same.
Very well matched. So.
All right. G.N.L, what does it like, or what is it like to be married to your wife?
Amazing. If I was to describe my relationship with Miriam in one word, I would say amazing, because I have always looked for someone who's honest with me, and not someone who's pretentious or a yes person. And she's the only one that I've found so far in my life among the myriads of people that I've met. She's the only one who is honest with me, and to me that means that means a whole bunch. In fact, it's the whole 9 yards. I look for honesty. I look for someone who is willing. At the end of the day, I know that cares for me. So it's just amazing. It's amazing. The word is amazing that I'm looking for. I could go around the world twice and I would still find one word: amazing. It's like what the hell?
There is a bit of a network reception seems to be not very clear on your side, but let's hope that it's okay.
Yeah.
Guys, let's hit the stage. Let's hit the stage. Let's hit the talk. Let's start the moment of discussion. So quickly, G.N.L, so many people don't know you and don't know your real name, other than what they read in the newspapers and from where you come from, except those of us who have grown up with you, who have spent some time with you, know you very well. So I want to take this interview from like really, really back, from the basics of it all, and back to the source, like Babaluku likes to call it. Who is G.N.L Zamba in a nutshell? And where do you come from? If you were to call who are you, where do you come from? What's your background like?
So G.N.L Zamba fell from the stars. Like I was created right between the Milky Way and the farthest Milky Way and the city between the sphere and Orion stars. So I fell from there, and from there I was divinely conceived through my mother's womb to the person that right now is known as Nsimbi Rupia Zita Tulye Zamba.
Mr. Zamba, from the Ugandan context, who are you? If I'm coming from the village and I want to know, born to who, mother to who, father to who, did you drop from heaven? You know, you sound like a philosopher. And
yeah, because
all the Lugaflo guys are philosophical in nature and the way they do their things, but
yeah, so Eddie, you know me. Every question, people spend all people spend nearly half their lives trying to define the question of who are you. The question of who are you is not just a one sentence. It's not about who produced you and who brought you onto this earth. The question of who are you is the one question that everybody on earth struggles with to define themselves by the principles of what they believe they are and who they actually are. So that's a very philosophical question. But to break it down into layman terms, Ernestine Nsimbi Tulye Lupia Zita Nsimbi was born to John Semakula of Kawempe, and a very lovely lady, a very beautiful lady called Joyce. And I was born in Kawempe to a civil servant and an electrician, and those are my parents. One comes from Mukono, a place called Nkokonjeru, and then my mother is like one of those Baganda ladies who is like a Kasangwao. So I'm really proud of my roots. I'm proud of being from those two beings who are fortunate enough to bear this very handsome boy from the stars. I'm fortunate that they're the ones who raised me. But just like Jesus Christ, I was raised in Kawempe. I was born in a manger. You get me? I was born in a place where you had to skip over gullies and a miara to get to the place where I was raised. But I was raised in a house that was so full of so much love, so much care, that even through struggle, I never struggled as a child. Most of my struggles I begin becoming aware of my struggles as I'm becoming a teenager. And from my teenage years to probably high school is when I begin defining myself as the question of who are you begins getting posed to me. And I would like to say that I'm a person that loves people. I'm a person who is an egalitarian. Just to stop it right there before I digress. That's where I would like to stop. I define myself as a person who loves people. I'm a storyteller and an egalitarian.
Thank you very much for that answer. At least now we know people were saying, what is it, G.N.L Samba? Ask him about this question. At least now know who you are. And I like to define the two worlds. The two worlds I talk about is this G.N.L, the normal human being. Okay, Zamba, the same human being like me, but then Zamba, the artist. Those are totally two different people. Most people across the world who are talented, who are artists, don't know the difference between the two. And I would like to ask you a question. Would you give us a quick definition of the difference between Zamba, artist, and G.N.L Zamba, the artist?
So those lines are very blurry. Those lines are very blurry between G.N.L Zamba, the artist, and G.N.L Zamba, the, like you've just said. You even just called me by my government name. You just said honest. You get me? Because most of the people that know me, the people that I sip tea with, call me by the name Honest. And as we go on, you find that with the level of which people know me, they all call me by different names. Some people call me G. Like my wife just calls me G, and everybody like.
My parents are very confused and frustrated by this.
Yeah, like, do we call you G? We call you Nsimbi, because everybody calls you by a different name. But people call me G, people call me Honest, people call me Nsimbi, people call me G.N.L, people call me Zamba, depending on how they have met me and what circles they have met me through. So if a person calls me from the taxi park and uses one of those names, I know exactly where that person is calling me from. You get me? But the distinction between those two people, I'd like to say that their value system is the same. But there's a very huge difference between entertainment and real life. And I always strike a difference between those two things. You remember when we were kids, you used to watch Schwarzenegger going to and killing all the Vietnamese. And then, yeah, at the end of the day, Schwarzenegger, the movie ends with Schwarzenegger. But at the end of the day, Schwarzenegger has to go back home to his wife, to his kids, to his friends, and just be a normal, a normal person. So even for me, I can be honest in Nsimbi, chilling with Eddie Okila, having a cup of tea or sipping tea. And I'm glad that I can separate those two worlds from what's entertainment and what's my real life when I come back to real life, because it's very good for sanity. It's also very good for keeping your relationships with people. I love playing between both worlds because before I step on stage, I'm honest. But when I step on stage, it's G.N.L. It's a whole other person. I'm talking to the stars and the planets and the gods. I'm different. So I like that.
I think you could see where I'm coming from, G.N.L. Between you and your wife, I've just said something. Your parents are very confused. Your parents are very confused. Which have to call you, which, and this is their son-in-law.
Yeah.
And which is, I'm going to come to the point of being the only son-in-law, as the rumor has it, in the streets of Kampala, and what that means to them and to her, your wife. What is the correct spelling of your name, of your wife?
Oh, so I think I'm going to let her take over this one, because we have been very frustrated that people keep on adding a letter to her name. So I'll let her define the name and how you're meant to spell it. Because we have just been, early this morning, we have just been through an email talking to our lawyer. Even our lawyer, who we trust, keeps on misspelling the name, and we have him. So I'll let her take this over.
But yeah, so I'm Miriam Tamar. Miriam, M-I-R-I-A-M. Tamar, T-A-M-A-R, not Tamara. But I'm Miriam Tamar Insimbi is my legal name. But I go by Miriam Tamar.
It's not Mariam.
It's not Mariam.
It's not Mariam, it's Miriam.
Miriam.
It's not Tamara, it's Tamar.
G.N.L, do you have any gadget which is playing the audio back to you guys, like a TV or radio or something?
No, most of the devices that we have are all online.
Yeah, we're watching it back right here.
Yeah, we're watching it back over there.
There's a feedback coming. I don't know where it's coming from. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, fine. So basically, I was saying, I don't know where the feedback is coming from, but we'll sort it out. I just wanted to ask Miriam, is it like the Miriam that we see in the Bible?
Yes.
I know what's the correct spelling of your name. Can you spell it for us? Because I've read in the newspaper, Miriam, Mariam, everybody's using different names.
It's Miriam.
I don't know which one is the correct.
Yeah, it's Miriam from the Old Testament. Miriam. Yeah, Miriam who puts baby Moses. Miriam who puts baby Moses in the Nile River.
Yes. Okay. So that's the one. So everyone who's watching the show, I hope you get her name clear, and not to mix her name up and call her something else. So, Miriam, what is it like, to be first of all a musician? I've read a lot about you. You don't know. I'm trying to just basically, know you. You worked in northern Uganda for about, I'm told, 3 to 5 years or something like that. You've been around East Africa for some time, and you were doing music before, but not necessarily professional like you're doing right now. Listening to the sound that you've just released right now, someone would think you've been singing for I don't know how many years, donkey years, like we call it in Africa, like donkey years. She's been singing like for donkey years. But yet, you seem to have been in a different life altogether. And then now you are in this life, which is very professional as a musician. Would you just take us to that journey, first of all, before we go to the journey of how you and G.N.L met?
Yeah, sure. Well, I would say I have been singing for many, many years. That is part of my long history. When I started singing, my background is in jazz music, so jazz vocals. So for people who may or may not know much about jazz, I think there's some jazz in Kampala, but it's not really the traditional jazz, like American jazz that we have. It's when I'm talking about jazz, people can look up artists like Ella Fitzgerald, Nina Simone, Billie Holiday. Those are the types of artists that I really looked up to when I was learning jazz music. So I think a lot of people in Uganda may be less familiar with those artists, but they're really creative.
Uganda is not Nina Simone. Ella Fitzgerald, not really, but Nina Simone, yes.
It's just a really awesome genre. We can't hear. Don't you think it's because this is on?
Can you hear me?
It has to be on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so there's a feedback. I want to figure out where it's coming from. It looks like there's something which is
yeah, I'm also trying to figure out where it's coming from. I fixed it, but I don't know.
Okay, but we'll sort it out. Okay.
Okay.
So what I was saying is that, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I was saying is there are very few people who understand that Jazz Safari here, Elijah Chichaka, Kalonji Kabuye, there are a couple of people who will understand that. You'll find Edio Killer, but really a large number of people don't understand the difference between jazz music and this other music.
Shaka Mayanja is a very good guy to refer to jazz and music.
He is the father of jazz and reggae in Uganda. So when you talk about jazz, you understand from that point of view. But yes, so Miriam, continue. So you're saying your background is playing from jazz music before, and I want to hear more about that. Yes.
Yeah, and in terms of Africa, you can think of like Hugh Masekela, so people might know people like that. So I grew up studying jazz, and when I graduated school, my degree from university is in peace and justice studies. with a focus on East Africa. So I have that sort of humanitarian work and community organizing. And I was studying post-conflict work. So looking at regions like Rwanda, Burundi, Congo, Northern Uganda. That was the area of my studies. And I did my semester abroad in Dar es Salaam. So that's sort of how I started to spend time in East Africa and studying East Africa. And as a child, I went to South Africa because my aunt is from South Africa. So I always had this interest in Africa and wanted to get back there to spend time. So then I was, after university, went to work in Northern Uganda in Pade, which is very northern. It was very, I hear now they've built it up. I haven't been back since it was still just the camp, IDP camp.
Yeah.
So I was first working there, and then in Gulu and Kitgum with a partner program in Lira. And I was in Gulu for 2.5, 3 years. And that was the first time I wasn't doing my jazz and really missed music. So I had a friend there who said, okay, let's do songwriting.
Yeah.
So we did songwriting, we rented some studios.
Shout out to Josh.
Yeah, my friend Josh Jones, who lives in the UK with his beautiful Acholi wife, Abitimo, and they have 3 gorgeous daughters who are half Acholi, half British. They're amazing. One is very talented, who's doing poetry for Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she's like 7 years old and was featured on
BBC, CNN, everywhere.
Yeah. So she's representing Uganda.
Yeah.
But so we started recording songs in like the Gulu studios with a generator.
Hold on. So Eddie is complaining about feedback, but you know what it feels like recording a song when there's generator noise in the background?
And the generator's running out and you're just trying to record, and then the computer crashes when the power goes out. You need to reboot everything.
Yeah.
And I was working with some artists up there, collaborating and just like trying to be creative. And that was also as I was getting kind of burnt out working in that field, because it's just so much emotionally and difficult to push programs through. I was working with teachers, teacher training, and the funding for teachers in Uganda is like does not exist. So it was just so hard trying to do that. So eventually I said, you know what, my heart's really in music, and I'm gonna get back into music, and that's where my path is. And I moved to Kampala and was able to get a job at Fenon Entertainment, managing the studios there. And Steve Jean said, okay, when the studios are free, you can record. So I was managing the studios, recording my music, getting to know so many people in entertainment, like pretty much everyone, because everyone goes through Fenon. And after some time, I met him. So
yeah,
that's the story we want to know. Who met who did what, how?
So what's funny is that so what's funny?
Story of love.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to get into. So how we met was I used to always tour with Baboon Forest. Every time we would get a tour, either with Coca-Cola or we're touring with Club Pilsner, we'd go to northern Uganda. And one of our favorite towns was Arua and Gulu, because we have boys that we studied with. All of us had had friends there. I had friends there. Munji had friends there. But one of the friends that we all had in common was a guy called Josh. And Josh happened to be this British guy, along with some other basketball players who are part of the teams in Kampala, who are just our friends, very long time friends from Mitchell University or Tinderview or Buchira College Boutique. So whenever I used to go up there to Gulu, it was a party. It was like home away from Kampala.
Party at BJ's. Shout out to BJ's, the hot spot of Gulu.
Yes. So Josh was a DJ who had left the UK and he was now working in Gulu, and he was working with several young kids and projects around. But whenever we used to go to Gulu, it was a party. We would either kill a goat, eat some pork, and drink, and for 3 days before we go back to Kampala. And Josh used to tell me about this friend that he had and he used to record music with, that is now working in Kampala, but we had never got a chance to meet. So on one fateful day in one of the popular places in Kampala, we meet. And when we meet, it was by chance or by luck. I think God and the heavens just like organized this meeting, because it was like by chance. It was one of those days when I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to be dating. I didn't want to be in love. I just wanted to be single, having fun in Kampala. And I thought that was going to be my life for the rest of. I thought that was going to be my life, but the gods played a trick on me, and then we met. And the night we met, I think the very next day or a day after, I had a deal with Steve, G.N.L and Miriam, and I went over there for a meeting. And who do I see run into again? I ran into her for the second time. So, and then we talked and discovered that we were actually neighbors. And
no, we actually ran into each other at the road heading home.
Yeah.
And then we're like, "What are you doing?" And waved to each other. And then we pulled into the gas station just by our house and realized we were neighbors too.
Yeah.
So all these things conspired.
So God and the angels were like, this must happen.
Okay. So you guys, your story is like a story of a movie that needs to be written for Hollywood, or
of course.
A guy who was just doing his own stuff, didn't want to date, and a girl who was just tired of her job and getting bored because things are not changing, and now she wants to change, and then she goes on some bored situation and stuff like that, and then ended up with a guy who doesn't want to date, show up, get a deal at Fedon, and then before you know it, we're meeting in a neighborhood. We found out that we were neighbors, and then you start stalking each other by saying hello. Before you know it, you ended up as lovers.
Eddie, you can direct this movie. You can direct this movie, and we'll make millions of it. You can direct this movie and we'll make millions of it.
When she was narrating the story and giving her story, I was really enjoying the moment, around her story and how it's such a beautiful story that can be turned into a movie. You will forgive me. I think everything's visual. I mean, G.N.L, you've been around me for a very long time. Yeah, even on this platform in itself is a different story altogether, because we've been talking about this for a long time. So yeah, I like to hear the story. And now we have spoken for a couple of minutes. We've gotten to know you guys. We're going to go to a musical break and come back to this song, which is turning heads around Kampala and around the world. The song which is saying we are all just searching for love. Okay, and I want to come back to ask Miriam if she was really searching for love, because it sounded like really what was done way back,
Yeah.
And then the guy with the binoculars trying to search also certain things in called G.N.L. So let's go for a break, and when we come back, G.N.L and the wife will be coming back and sharing with us the story of Nsimbi. I'm interested in the story of the great story behind Nsimbi, the music, and the next step for G.N.L and of course the wife in world stage music. Let's check it out.
Dope. Nice. Hey. Hey. So guys, right now we're on a musical break. We're still doing our interview with Mr. Eddie Okila, and this interview is amazing. This interview is amazing because he's a friend of mine, and for the very first time, we're talking about the things that are passionate to us, and we're welcoming you into our quarantine hideaway. And yeah, right? I haven't read any. I haven't read any
Yeah, we
comments
can't
since we
do
began.
it at the same time.
I know. Oh, but we are live right now. We are live. I thought we were live on the page. I think we lost the page. Hi guys, how Jenna called? I think I'm going to switch it to the page. I'm going to switch it to the page right
Yeah,
now.
but I was also
But the people on
wondering if
YouTube,
having so many things is messing up each other.
oh yeah, could be. So right now, I was playing is our video searching. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. I love that video. Hey, let me turn it around. Oh no, it's us showing. Banana. Keep keeping on following. Hey guys, we love you so much. But I'm about to switch over to my page right now. Just turn your phone around. Someone is watching us from Bermuda. She's called G.N.L. So shout out to G.N.L.
I've always wanted to go to Bermuda.
Yeah.
We're all just looking for love.
Say what?
We're all just looking for love.
Say what?
We're all just looking for love.
Love right here.
We're all just looking for love.
Love anyone know.
We're all just looking for love.
Love anyone know.
We're all just looking for love.
Love anyone know.
We're all just looking for love. We're all just reaching for someone, somewhere, something. We're all just reaching for someone, somewhere, something.
All right. I'm G. Yeah. I love that graphic though.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. Hey. Hey.
Encore.
So right now we're still on the never ever has a video ever been played twice on a TV station because it's dope. So but try to get the page here right now we're back. If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, you're still with us. Thank you for subscribing and being a part of this amazing journey. We're still doing our interview on HTV. Yes, we're back with Eddie right now.
Find yourself on the lonely road.
Yes.
Miriam, what were you trying to tell us right there?
I mean, think about just everyone can relate to that right now. It's the whole world is going through this pandemic. And people are being separated. People are having to stay home or just be feeling isolation, feeling loneliness. And you know, one of the most basic things that humans need is a sense of connection, a sense of love. I think that's the most important thing that we have as humans, or a feeling of purpose when we're here on this planet, is to feel some sense of love and
belonging, basically.
Yeah, belonging. That's how we feel a sense of belonging, is that connection to other people. So when that's cut off, it really changes your sense of reality. And I think people in general feel like they don't have enough love. So
when we're writing that song, when you're directing the song, I see Miriam just explained something that is too deep. Saying we're all going through a difficult moment right now, and the world is really stressed. We keep hearing a lot of divorce stories coming from across, which means we have decided to go separate ways. Divorce means there's no more love. All right. We're hearing people committing suicide and dying. It means there's no self-love anymore. You can't find love for yourself anywhere, and you're struggling with it, and there's no one to share with you. And then there's this song that is out right now, which is saying we're all just trying to find love. If you find yourself on a lonely road, and it's a deep sense, it brings you back to think about your life, to think about, do I have to give up now, or do I have to keep moving? And then there's this all white world of, black race, white race, and everybody. And you saw what happened when Black Lives Matter started, when George
Floyd.
Floyd was killed, and the manner it happened, it shocked the world, and everybody was, you know what? And kids are singing, everybody's talking about it. And then, boom, you guys just showed up with this song out of nowhere. We're all just searching for love. Would you want to take us through the moment that came in your mind when you're writing this song, and beyond just what you've explained, and the sceneries in the song, the video, the lyrics, and the vocals, and everything that is in that song? Where was it coming from? Where were you driving and drawing the energy from?
So I don't even know where to start, because us as a brand, we figured out that the best thing that we can ever do to leave a better legacy and to also impact the world was to leave a better legacy of relationships between white and black people, between people of different culture, getting to relate better and to appreciate who we are and our common understanding of humanity. So a song like Searching, to me, looking at the struggles of black people in America, looking at the struggles of Asians in Uganda, looking at the struggles of everywhere that there has ever been discrimination on earth, the only answer or the only commonality that Buddha has in common with Mohammed, Jesus, and all the faiths is that all of them, and all the faiths of Africa, is that all of them are trying to tell us that love is the answer. But something as simple as that is complicated by tribalism, is complicated by racism. So our mission as Nsimbi is to put more love into the world and remind ourselves of the beauty that we all have, the beauty that we all have within each other. The song Searching is not telling you to go and get on a boat and go somewhere else. The song Searching is different from Dunia ni Matembezi, in that in this time it's telling you abaganda ida bagitanga kwekuba mu torch, wekwe mu torch, and search within yourselves and search for that love within yourself. Have that introspect and search within love search for love within yourself that that finds common ground, that you recognize other people's pain, you recognize other people's lack of belonging, in terms of if you're seeing refugees that need your help, if you're seeing people that have been discriminated against. This generation is being called upon to do its duty and its purpose. And our purpose is to put more love into the world, because this world, as we see it right now, whether it's in Uganda or America, it's ugly, and that's not who we are as people. Who we are as people, we are very loving, and all of us want the same thing. All of us want to be accepted. All of us want to be loved. So we are on a search for love. And with all this hatred that's going on with Donald Trump, what he's preaching, it's the same thing that was going on with Hitler, except that right now people are still laughing over it. But it's as serious as that. It's as serious as something that we saw in Rwanda, and we don't want to repeat those same mistakes. So what can we as a generation do? What can we as artists do in this very, very time to start a revolution of love? Such a song as Searching, that's the common ground where it comes from. There is so much we can do.
Wow. G.N.L. Man, that's deep. I'm just thinking about all the things you guys are talking about, and I'm just saying to everyone who is watching this program all across the world, I just want to hear something from Miriam. Tamar is not a Kelp.
Yeah.
Nansubuga.
Mm-hmm.
No. Tamar means a girl from somewhere in Israel, if I'm not mistaken. And the name is quite, I can second guess where you come from and stuff like that. There this old notion that the whites don't mix blacks, and then the Israelites cannot get married to anybody out there. And here we are having to talk about love, where Tamar is married to Zamba, and they're talking about preaching love. Miriam, what came into your mind to think about writing this song, first of all, you guys? And other than what G.N.L has said, I want to hear from you. What message are you trying to communicate to the world?
Yeah. Well, it's the reason we started Insimbi in general is to express cross-cultural dialogue and appreciation, and to share that we're not just a duo, we are a couple, and we are openly exploring that for people, whether they are also a couple or whether they have friendships or whatever it is, to be curious and open about connecting with people who are different than them. With this song, it continues to explore that. And I think at this time, you can just really see that we have a choice in life. You can continue to put in positivity and love and pass that on,
Mm-hmm.
or you can be in pain and you can pass your trauma and your pain on to people, and then that will just continue to create more pain. So even with Black Lives Matter, you're seeing generations of people who have been in pain and not been able to live freely and to have happiness. So what we're just trying to talk about here, and as someone who comes from a Jewish culture and a Jewish background that is a history of people who have had to travel the world because they're kicked out of countries or persecuted. My cultural identity has gone through a lot of pain, and we do pass that pain on. But it's trying to be able to have that pain, but then choose love instead. And I think if people started to choose love, we wouldn't be just passing the pain back and forth to each other. So that's just something G and I talk about, and if the world people could be choosing love, it would just be better. It's spreading positivity instead of a cycle, a never-ending cycle of negativity. And we talk about this with so many people, and even you can even look at it in the microcosm of the entertainment industry in Kampala or different places where you can spread negativity and pain around and struggle, or you can just say, you know what, I'm not going to continue this cycle.
Yeah.
I'm going to move out to positivity and say, I'm only going to spread.
Just to add on just a little bit of that, I've come to so many decisions in my life where I could have chosen to be the old Zamba that chooses to go to war and battle and assure people and do all these other things. But where I've come to right now, I've realized that hurt people hurt people. Mm-hmm. So in order to break the cycle, of propagating that pain and that struggle, and in order for us to be able to progress, we need to start celebrating each other's success. You see, success in Kampala, it isn't that the music industry is hard. The music industry in Uganda is not hard. It's the people that have been hurt or the people that have found it hard that try to make it harder for the younger people trying to come in. Those are the people who make the music industry hard. But it isn't hard at all. If all of us begin supporting each other, if you lay a ladder, someone else lays a ladder for you. Like people like me, I grew up admiring Alex Mukulu. I grew up admiring Kawesa. You get me? Like none of those people has ever put an elbow in my face. But you find that so many generations that come in between there have all been stepping on the fingers of other people. So in order to stop that cycle, we need to start celebrating each other's success and supporting each other. So it isn't about propagating beef, because you realize that beef doesn't really take you far. It becomes a crabs in a bucket mentality where you're all putting each other down instead of building onto each other and laying ladders and climbing to higher levels. So that it takes commitment to break that cycle mentally, and it takes thinking with love and doing things with love in order to succeed.
And I just like to add, I think when you are in a cross-cultural or interracial relationship, it takes a certain amount of empathy. Like I have to understand him and where he comes from and his culture. He has to also do the same with me. And when you start thinking like that, you continue to become more compassionate, which is also why we always encourage people to talk to more people mm-hmm. that are different. The more you talk to people who are different than you, the more compassionate you become. Yeah. And then in general, if you're become a compassionate person, you'd rather spread love than negativity, because it's to spend energy on negativity and pain, it begins to just not even make sense.
It's not healthy.
It doesn't make sense.
To make a long, very long, simple answer that simple is that at the end of the day, it's very simple to love, very complicated to hate. Yeah. Nice. So it's the song that we played that the TV is playing right now. I think we're beginning a revolution of love, which is what Miriam and I settled that we're going to do with this song and do with the brand Nsimbi, going forward. Bringing people together, appreciating each other's culture.
Yeah, I mean, during these times, it's such a chance to be awakened to the fact that things are so hard. Why would you make it harder for yourself? Why would you make it harder for anyone else? Let's just help each other.
Mm-hmm. Simple, isn't it? But how many of you can turn a cheek when you slapped 77 times? We're back. Yeah. We're back.
Yeah.
Guys, you have knocked me off the feet.
Oh yeah.
I just played the song so that people can understand what you guys are talking about is so serious. There's just this part of the song that says, if you're looking for a hand to hold, and G.N.L, you just said something fundamentally very, very important. Something fundamentally very important. I don't know how many people have, gotten it right. It is more expensive to hate than it's cheap to love.
Exactly.
Yeah. People don't understand
that. Mentally, you take. Yeah. Go on. Yes. But I was just about to finish the thought that mentally, to spread negativity, you need to be following up on what the other person is doing. But every time you see your brother and celebrate their success or celebrate their little victories, you create a network that is, you know, agali awamu ge galumenya mayente. That's an African proverb, and there's a lot of wisdom in that. That you celebrate each other, you create a network that easily breaks barriers and takes you further.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
So I was saying, G.N.L, you have changed. You are a new person. And I would like to take this line from you to everyone who is watching the show. When you say that you had to let go so many things in your past and you had to change direction in order for you to move forward, and you say that you realize that being hateful is expensive, so you have to keep up with all the negativity that is going on in order for you to maintain the cost of being a hater and and a fighter and to abuse people and everything. I think there's such a big lesson to take from your wife globally for everyone who's watching, that if you choose love over hate, you will begin to do great things. I would have expected a song that was assuring the world to say, yeah, you know, this and that and that. But the song is saying, if you're looking for a hand to hold, we're here for you. If you're looking for a place to be, that place is called love. And you go on to say that keeping up with things that are in you, which are not for you, just make sure, just maintain your course of down the pyramid, if I'm not mistaken. If I get you right, that's what you're saying. That if you maintain the course, you will continue to go down as opposed to rising up and moving up if you're holding hands together and working with everyone. That's quite very philosophical in nature, if I get the word right, yes. And that's quite very difficult for very many people. I want you to share with us, how do we overcome our past of hatred, of being hateful, of being, you know, revengeful, of being, you know, all this crazy stuff that happened in the world to us. And then we say, you know what? I choose direction of love. I want to move forward. And that is going to bring me to the great story behind how you guys just decided to turn the table upside down and start creating a music that is now a world class, a master class. I mean, you don't understand it. You haven't yet understood your own song. I'm very excited. You haven't understood your own song. Until it plays many times, you're going to understand how this song is going to get out to people across the world, and they're going to start understanding. Right?
Yeah.
I've played the song, I've understood the song, I feel the song, but I don't think G.N.L and your wife and Miriam and Nsimbi, the team, you understand the magnitude of the music itself, the song itself.
Thank you. Yeah.
How can one turn around their life to say, you know what, I want to be like what G.N.L is saying, I want to be like what Miriam is saying, I want to be like what Insimbi is saying in this song now going forward, learning from your music?
You can't just flip a switch. You can't just go from one thing to another. It's an everyday process. It's a learning process. And it takes years. It's getting to, I'd say it's a process of accepting yourself, because, and getting to know yourself and to trust yourself, because so many of us are living a life of trying to get acceptance of others. And when you're trying to get the acceptance of others, you then feel very critical of yourself, and you question yourself, and you feel in a dark place. So it's actually learning to look at all the noise and the people and all these things around you that you think are judging you, and slowly saying, you know what, these opinions, all these people saying I'm not good enough, or I don't know what I'm doing, I'm making the wrong decision. Slowly you learn to say, their opinions or things they think are the best. those are what they think, and that's how they live their lives.
Mhm.
But I need to listen to my voice and the person inside of me and learn that's my path, that's who I am, and slowly keep telling yourself, yes, that's who I'm going to listen to. It's finding the love within yourself first, and it takes so long to turn off the voices around you. And when you can stop listening to those voices and feeling that you have to punish yourself because those people around you, they're stronger than you are.
Mhm.
So when you start turning all of that sound off and slowly trust yourself and say, I'm the one who's in control.
Yeah.
I'm the one who I owe an explanation.
Yeah.
And I'm the one who I'm going to love the most. And when I feel the best and I'm the strongest, I can be the best person I am. Then
Yeah.
I'm ready to love. I love myself. I love everyone else. I'm not mad at the other people because I'm not letting them and their words hurt me anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's
so hard. It takes
just to supplement on what Miriam is saying. In the simplest terms, we have all been taught that everything that you practice, you become good at. But not many of us are told to practice love so that we become good at love. Even love itself needs to be practiced so that you become good at it. And the very, very first step to start when you're practicing love to become good at it, the very first step is love. Because even though you're to dip into your Bible and look for Jesus's messages, he's going to tell you, love your neighbor like you love yourself. You get me? I'm not a very religious person, but this is just common knowledge that when you love yourself so much, if you manage to love yourself so much, you will forgive yourself. So many people don't forgive themselves. If you forgive yourself, that means that you're going to love yourself so much that you're not going to let other people's judgments impinge upon your enjoyment of life. And once you fill your heart with so much love, you leave very little space for hatred. Actually, no space for hatred. Then once you love yourself, it begins spilling over to other people because there's no other place to put love except to love others. But you find that our challenge in Africa, not in Africa alone, everywhere in the world, is that people are judging themselves so much because they haven't learned to love themselves so much. Once you love yourself, you armor yourself with confidence and you armor yourself with forgiveness. The first forgiveness is to forgive yourself, first of all, of the things that you're not good at, the things you've been told you're not good at. All of that is nonsense. Once you forgive yourself and begin loving yourself, you fill your heart with so much love and your spirit, and you think with love and do with love, then that love begins spilling over to other people. Is a very, very, those two rules are very essential. There's so much wisdom in that whether you go to the Buddhists, whether you go to the Chinese and their Hinduism and whatever, you find that all this wisdom repeats itself on all corners of the earth. And that's what we celebrate as Nsimbi. The love in Buganda, in Acholi, in China, in Japan, in Australia, it's all the same. It's all trying to tell us the same thing.
Wow, guys. What a show. What a moment, man.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sitting here and I just say, how many people are getting healed right now? And how many people are feeling the vibe right now of what you guys are saying? Music speaks to the heart and music speaks to the soul of a human being. And it's often said that if you help a person or if you're able to touch what is central at the core of a human being, you will help that human being to anchor their soul.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Nsimbi, the song right now, we are all just searching for love, and the song is called Searching, could probably be doing exactly that, helping so many, touching the core of human beings and helping those human beings to anchor their soul, to be able to start moving forward from where they have been stuck and to finding a new route going forward. Definitely, this interview is not stopping here, and G.N.L, you have so many people who love you all across. Somebody from Zambia said, Mr. Killer, I met that gentleman called Zambia, somewhere, I think in Zanzibar or somewhere, and I was so interested and I love their story. Could you please make this a series of like 2 or 3 like you did with my brother Baba Luke and get it all? We feel like this is too short for us.
Yeah.
There you have it. There's a vote for you guys for that. And another person is saying, Eddie, you have to do a series of G.N.L. We want to know, can you bring us the behind the scene when they're writing the songs and what was going on? And G.N.L and Miriam, the song is deep. And I just want to ask you guys something.
Mm-hmm.
How long did it take you guys to realize that you need to do this? And what really touched your life so much to come up with this concept? Hold it right there. We're going for a break. We need to have some love from Nsimbi. We need to share some things about love from Nsimbi before we can even do anything. Everyone out there, let's go back to the music. Let's enjoy the music first, and then when we come back, we will be able to talk about this in just a few. Let's check the song out one more time.
Oh yes. Thank you, man. Yes, so we're still playing Searching and
It's
talking
9
about
o'clock.
Searching. Ignore my computer. My computer is set on Ugandan time, so it's telling you the time. But we are still out here. We are doing an interview with Eddie Okila, who is of HTV all over East Africa. They are broadcasting and all around the world. And we're talking about our latest project, which is Searching, which is a search for love. And we believe this song is a step to the healing process of the world and how we relate towards each other and how we can heal our societies and hopefully deal away with all the hatred when we understand each other that all we want is love and all we want is belonging and that all of us come from the same roots and all of us can be part of the same tree that gives us the fruit of life. That's what we're talking about right now. Thank you for joining us. First of all, thank you for staying along. We're coming to 1 hour and 20 minutes and you're still with us. That means you love us. You love us. You love us. Thank you so much. We appreciate your support. And we are Nsimbi, it's Miriam Tamar, G.N.L Zamba. The song is called Searching. It's available on Spotify, Tidal, and all your online platforms. You can check it out. And share it with a friend. Even if it's not about us, the song is about healing the world. Even if you don't subscribe, even if you don't do anything, we just want you to share the song.
Send it to someone you love.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm so proud because this is my very first time to direct a video and it comes out this nice. Now, I mean, I'm proud that we made this. Yeah.
Crazy.
It's crazy. High five. Yeah. So what? Yeah. Yes. We're all just looking for love. Yes. For something to put our hearts in. We're all just reaching somewhere, something. Oh yeah, this is beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah, that's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, so we're still on HTV. I think we're about to go into our last segment of the interview. But thank you for hanging out with us. It's been really great. Let's do this and then we'll get back to talking to you.
of events and coincidences, which I described in the book, I ended up becoming
Yo, chill my jacket.
journalist
Chill my jacket. Like, can you
about
chill?
Uganda.
We've had a lot of books in Uganda about the stories of Uganda and the war in Uganda, but this one is very different.
I'm a Ugandan. I have a Ugandan passport now. But I also have a British passport. I was born in Tanzania in 1952, where my father was a colonial officer. In fact, he was the provincial commissioner.
And this time round, we're going to be catching up with Mr. William Pike, who is basically a very local.
Okay, so we're going in for the last part of the
We're
segment.
going live.
We're going live.
We are all.
Oh, one more
Just kidding,
advert.
just
Jesus
kidding.
Christ. Just kidding.
Told
Jesus.
you.
Adverts.
But more just
I am hungry. I don't know about anyone else.
even after coronavirus. This is a 30 minutes television program focusing on Uganda's response to the global
Someone stepped on my toe.
strategies, public response, finance, and people.
What the hell? Yo, I don't want to edit this. I just want to upload it.
I
So
know.
please,
I know.
please, Jesus. I just want to upload it. Come on. Don't make my work harder.
Bloopers live.
There are no bloopers here because nobody's editing this. I'm just filming it, putting it on YouTube. Struggles of independent artists.
Oh,
Now, I mean, I love it though. Where do you think this chain is from? Where do you think this is from? What tribe, what culture, what part of the world? Now, I mean, possesses special powers. This is how kings dress. Now, I mean, Nsimbi music.
is that the show on?
No,
Pop hip hop.
it might be.
Oh, wow.
Oh, damn. Our video is
Wow.
playing 4 times. 4 times? This is crazy. Our video is playing 4 times. 4 times. Being repeated 4 times, but never been done anywhere. Now, I mean, it's crazy. Never been done anywhere. This is crazy. The last time I ever had a song being replayed was, I think it was Capital FM, and it was like a request shop. And this DJ was called Shadow. And then people kept on requesting for the same song, and he played it twice. I remember I was outside playing basketball. It's crazy. Let me get some water. Let's get some water in my belly as we wait. You need water? You want water?
I can share with you. I was trying to hold your hand from a distance. Thanks for waiting with us.
We're waiting for commercial breaks, but what's more exciting is that our video is being played 4 times in a row. The TV loves our song.
Mazibariri.
I won't blame him. The song is so beautiful. Everybody should get that message.
Which means I'm rocked in a hard place.
Mm-hmm.
Someone, somewhere, something.
I hope that there's someone that this song actually like touches, like I don't know, like what was that Irish band? At the Sun Animal Cranberries.
Yeah.
Because I remember like as a child I used to like watch Cranberries and yeah. You might I hope there's a child watching this and being like the same effect the Cranberries had on me and they're having the same effect. Yeah.
Okay. Now
Black,
we're actually back.
Yellow, red, black, yellow,
Actually, we were faked
red,
out. I think this faked us out
black,
last time. So.
red, yellow,
Ooh, Rubik's
and
Cube.
it's a Rubik's Cube, yeah. Oof, and the Rubik's Cube changes color. It's dope. It's amazing. These are the graphics. Damn, it's our video for G.N.L Matembezi. So what?
So what?
Minyeka zaawe bankaza lujja omwana akula amatu ava mu lujja ow'obuwala agoberera basenga singa senge singo singa sesimye singa senge singo singa sesimye gago
Maisha ni utembezi.
gago
Dunia ni matembezi.
gago
Maisha ni utembezi.
gago to come home. Gotta go to come home. Hey. Batabalanga. Babukabukange pungumuba. Someone was calling me and telling me about this part. Like it just made sense to him. Were you here? Were you talking about that?
I'm in need of dusty roads and dusty toes. I have gone again and traveled far from home to the moonlit shores of Mombasa. In the blue-green seas I'll flow down to the Serengeti. Through golden fields I'll roam. Don't you know the world is walking?
Yeah.
Reach out and take a hand. Yes, the beauty's in the talking.
Hey.
Dance to the beat of a distant land.
Yes.
Dunia Tembezi.
Ojjajja baffe batabalanga.
Tembezi.
Gago.
Dunia Tembezi.
It's timeless though, you know, like what era would you ever put that? Yeah. We are watching the video of our song.
This one's my favorite music video.
Okudda ku nnyumya emboozi mpoomya kacaayi bugumya mutaayi tambulako ng'okyatemya buno obulamu mya emu bbiri mya nze ne mutaayi kamya twejjawo nga kimyanso ne tutula ku ŋŋamiya ne tugenda okulaba dduniya mwattu ensi tekoma busiya tuukako eyo amayengo gye gasiiya olaba ebirungi obwongo ogaziya bakyala balungi bakuwooya mmere nungi olya toyayuuya mu ddungu osanga ekyeya mu kibira ensolo ez'ebyoya ne mugabana bbogoya ensi eyeddembe totikako kandooya mutambuze tasiba zikuweya osanga kusoya naawe omusoya.
Is walking. Reach out and take a hand. Yes, the beauty's in the talking.
That area shot
Dance to the beat of a distant land. Dunia Matembezi.
Bajjajja baffe batabalanga. Babukabukanga empungu mu bbanga. Bakomangawo embuzi ne tubaga. ne batunyumiza olwo bye balabeyo mu mawanga bajjajja baffe batabalanga babuukabuuka ng'empungu to come home. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go to come home. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go to come home. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go, gotta go to come home.
Bye, Chris.
Please, yeah.
Thanks for coming with us.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
People
Jay.
great.
Hey. You can tune into HTV if you've got it.
Yeah. HTV, live in East Africa. That's where our latest song is playing.
Mujay. Mujay.
Gubongo J. Is that how you count?
That's my talking drum. We hear the talking drum.
Yeah. Cheza. Is what?
It's peace and love. And then you come in.
Kati muje gubumbuje.
Gubumbuje.
Kati muje gubumbuje. Gubumbuje.
We are drowned
In what?
in negativity.
Hey.
Can we find some positivity
Hey.
inside of you?
Inside.
Of me. We are love, we are light, humanity. Muje, 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 muje.
I love this scene.
Can we find some positivity inside of you?
Inside.
of me.
Hey.
We are love, we are light, humanity. Hey.
Much for what you're going to do, as you know, Gavana ne bano bwekaba sekera mu mutima tokoma mu kibuno mululu wano guleso lwokano ngate byonna ngano nyanja na nsano byonna kyekimu yagalana ne banno kolagana ne banno kuliriza banno entegekere tebagana bana towakana kolagana ne banno entegekere tebagana bana towakana kolagana ne banno kati mujje kubunguje kati mujje kubunguje kubunguje Mujer. That's in Spanish.
Mujer.
Cheza. Yes.
Happiness on earth is peace and love. Hey, yeah.
Cheza. Is what?
This peace and love.
Shout out to everybody who worked with us on this video. I love this video. Miriam's favorite video is Dunia. My favorite video is Mujer. Mujer. If you speak Spanish, in Espanol it's mujer. Mujer. I love it. I love it.
Hot women. Ooh, hot women.
Oh yeah? Okay. So it looks like our video is going to be playing all day. Thank you everybody for chilling with us on HTV. On a Sunday, a very glorious Sunday. We've been enjoying hanging out with you, and right now our video is playing for the 5th time. We're breaking the record. The 5th time on live TV. So thank you so much for all the love that you're showing us, and we don't even know what to say right now because
we're verklempt.
What's that?
We're verklempt.
Is that the Yiddish?
Yeah.
Okay, we're verklempt.
We're verklempt.
I have to learn how to pronounce that. But it's all appreciation for everybody who has been working with us, the people who mixed our music, the people who have been writing it, the people who have been you've been writing it. So thanks to you. Thanks to you for writing this beautiful music, for writing this beautiful song. There are no people to thank for the writing except
the people who've been shooting this video.
Thanks to me. Thanks to me. And but the musicians, the people that we play with, the people that perform with us, Nadav Peled, thank you so much. And thank you to Joseph.
Michael McGregor for producing this one.
What's son name?
Asekoye.
Joseph Asekoye and
on this one we have Leon Mobley.
Shinobe, Leon Mobley, and tell her. Leon Mobley
on percussion. On bass, it's
whoever you are, all the people that we have worked with, from the sound engineers whose names we don't know, who've shared very beautiful, conversations with. No, I'm talking about the stage people.
Oh.
Thank you. We're back on the interview.
What a day, what a Sunday, what an evening that we are having with G.N.L Zamba, the story of Nsimbi, the great production of music that we're enjoying today.
Yes.
And we have guys on the show today, and we're talking about the story of Nsimbi and the moment of Nsimbi and his wife. And these guys are switching love. All right, so G.N.L, your wife just made it to the hot women of the House of Talent TV. Shout out to her all across the world. And I would like to bring you guys back on the show, G.N.L and wife, and we're talking about the story of love. When you write music that changes life in the world, there will always be somebody to follow it. When you write music that touches people from the core of a human being, that helps a human being to anchor their soul, to say, for as long as the sun rises today, I will move with it before it sets.
Mm-hmm.
The story of you can overcome your past by just loving yourself. You don't have to love somebody else. You cannot pass love to somebody if you can't love yourself.
True.
If you're a person who is nasty, nasty will always follow you.
Yeah.
If you cannot love yourself, then you will never understand the love these guys are talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a great story of turning around life to say, you know what? I can do more meaningful things and I can write more meaningful songs. They could have chosen to write music about that The world needs to stay focused. The world needs people who can encourage you from your depression, from your, sickness, from the craziness that have surrounded the world, to say, you know what? We are with you and we always stand with you. Ladies and gentlemen all across the world, bring it back, Mr. and Mrs. Nsimbi, G.N.L and these guys are doing great stuff. We're going for the last bit of this interview, and I would like G.N.L and his wife to tell us, Muje, all right, links to the story of searching for love. They started preaching these things somehow, and then they started releasing the music along the way. So when you look at the story of the 3 songs that are now out by G.N.L and his wife, and the group now called Insimbi, all right? I can't wait to see these guys on the world stage performing the song. I don't know where, when coronavirus is done, but obviously we're going to be able to do something special. And I would like to tell G.N.L there are some 3 or 5 young people that I'm working with. Yesterday we were at Crystal Clear trying to produce the signature tune for House of Talent, and I played the song and everyone said, oh, oh, oh. And I said, you know what? I got the code to the guys. I got the code. I know the artists. I know the big guys. So we're going to have to do something about performance with these guys, of course, live. So thank you very much for being part of the show. It's live on Twitter, on Facebook, and on YouTube. And G.N.L and your wife. Let's talk about something. Let's talk about the journey from the streets of Kampala, the dusty streets of Kawempe, the confusion of Makerere University, the confusion of northern Uganda, the Jewish culture in some part of the world, and the confusion of the identity, because the world is saying, no, you don't belong here, you don't belong here, you don't belong there, and then ending up in northern Uganda, and then singing, moreover, singing in Kiswahili. Miriam, hats off for you. All right, I know you say you studied in Tanzania, but that's something great for me. And I got a message for you, G.N.L, from one and only Ronnie Mitch Egwang, saying, greatness with no limit.
Yes, that's...
G.N.L, welcome back. Let's take up the journey of the writing and everything as you guys have been through all along the journey to Nsimbi. And let's take us through the 3 songs. I'm going to wrap up the 3 songs with you guys really fast. And then there's a request for us to do this thing again, and we're going to do this thing again, as and when you guys have time. G.N.L take it away with your wife and tell us the journey of the dusty street of Kampala to the journey of Israel ending up in Uganda, and then going to the northern Uganda, studying in Dar es Salaam, writing the song, and where you guys are right now. What's next?
Yeah, so first of all, I must say that throughout my whole time in Kampala, while I was going through a lot of depression and wondering where my career was going to end up, it was the voice of Mitch Egwang that I felt that was very inspiring. Like Mitch Egwang coming on every evening on Sanyu FM and entertaining me was my solace, like going through life, and it was the voice that was a soundtrack to my dreams. So shout outs to you, Mitch Egwang, who is right now watching us. But I must say that to us, the journey of Nsimbi, a song like Muje, is basically our brand is about repurposing the knowledge of the ancient so that it can inform the people of the present times of how much that knowledge can save us from the predicaments that the future might present if we are to ever attempt repeating history. So a song like Moje is about calling people, buli omu ajje, regardless of whether you're Jewish, whether you're Indian, you're buli omu mu kala ye gyalimu ne religion gyalimu, all of you come to the fireplace. And I remember this is something which was very common in Buganda, where they used to sound engoma, gwanga moje, and then sometimes it was just roasting maize or cassava and some beef. So people would sit around the fireplace and learn from each other Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Exactly, my brother. So our digital version of coming together is like we are right now on HTV talking like this is a fire, and we have our Jewish wife over here. We have Eddie Okila representing the people of northern Uganda and eastern Uganda. We have a tribe of people from all around the world watching us right now, listening to our conversation. Chino Chechoto. This is the new Choto. This is the new Ishazi. This is the new. We're calling basically that song Muje talks about calling everybody, every tribe from wherever you are, the sons of Africa who are right now in America suffering due to racism. All of you Muje, you racists, you have something to learn from this fire pit that we are put on right here. You people who are religious zealots and extremists, you all have to learn something from the love and ancients that taught us to love. So Nsimbi taps into that kind of energy to inform the whole world. So that's where songs like Moje come from. And the word Nsimbi comes from a very traditional shell. That shell is Nsimbi Ojisanga on every coast of the world. You find it in China. She's wearing it right now. She's wearing Nsimbi right now. But you find the cowrie shell, yeah. The cowrie shell is, you find it on every part of the ocean, every part of the sea, on all continents. That means in South America, it's very central to the culture there. In the indigenous Americas, among the Native Americans, you find it over there, very central to their culture. In Buganda, in Acholi, in China, in India, it's the first currency. It's something that belongs to the land and the sea, and it has air in it, so it combines all the elements. So it is our name, a very old Bantu name, which also denotes the origin of humanity. So if we are looking for the origin of where humanity comes from, we look to the Nsimbi that connects everybody. We look to before the Jewish people traveled from East Africa to go populate the Middle East, before the Indians left to go populate the Himalayas and wherever they are, before the Caucasians left, before everybody, when this place was all Pangaea, it was the Nsimbi that bound us together. And it's in that very same spirit that we preach togetherness, that we preach love and understanding. We lost you on the volume.
All right, so Miriam, it's your time to say something about it.
I'm trying to remember the original question. We were supposed to talk about
the journey.
Kampala.
I've talked about Insimbi and the songs. So you talk about the journey of Gulu, Kampala, to where we are right now and where we intend to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I will say this again to Miriam G.N.L.
Yeah.
I will say this again to Miriam. I'm talking about the journey of you now. G.N.L has said the story of his dusty Kampala streets, Kawempe, ending up to where he is right now with you. And so I want to hear the journey of this Tamar girl. Tamar girl who found herself in East Africa, ended up in Tanzania, studied a bit in Tanzania, ended up in northern Uganda eating bo, konkal,
marakwang,
and all these things. Yes, all these things. And then to where you are now. What's next?
yeah, so I want to add, so the songs that we, Muje and Dunia Ni Matembezi, were off of our first album, self-titled album, Insimbi. And that's when we both had left Kampala and were based in LA. When we both were in LA, we decided finally to work together officially. So when we were first in Kampala, he had Baboon Forest, and I was sort of an unofficial member of Baboon Forest because I, had to be independent and didn't want to be looked at like I was just riding along on G.N.L's thing. Although, to be honest, everyone always just groups me in like I'm doing part of his posse anyways.
Yeah.
But I was doing some solo music then and collaborating with some of the guys in BFE and Trill, and I also did a collaborative project with Sabar Percussion, which I think many people in Kampala know. Sabar Percussion with all, the traditional instruments. And that was a really cool opportunity to just sort of fuse sounds and traditional sounds and pop music and see what that was like. And that was all before I moved back to the US. And part of moving back to the US was really to expand ourselves creatively and to have more opportunities and just to push ourselves. So we chose LA because it's really the largest entertainment city in the world, the largest music city in the world. And we said, if we're gonna go hard, we're gonna go all the way.
Yeah.
And it was an opportunity to meet so many different people in different genres and different musicians and really get a sense of what's going on in the industry, both art creatively and artistically, but also attend different conferences and see what's going on with technology and expand ourselves as entrepreneurs. So we just really wanted to get a sense of the whole scene and better ourselves in different ways. So yeah, then we recorded Insimbi, which is a full album with 13 tracks, all indigenous instruments, 27 or 28.
27 indigenous African instruments were on our initial album.
Yeah. We worked with Shinobe from Uganda. Many people know him. So talented. Yeah, Herbert Shinobe. Yes, shout out to Herbert Shinobe. He's amazing. And Jaja Bashangezi, Congolese born, then spent many years in Kampala.
Congolese Ugandan.
Yeah, he's basically a combo, and just the two of them are incredible. So we worked with them to record and make Insimbi album. So if you like Muje and Dunia ni Matembezi, there's a full album for anyone to go listen to online. And before we wrote Searching, we were already in this mindset. Before Corona came out, it was almost creepy to us. Like we were in Kampala starting to work on an EP, which is people who are following us know we're preparing to release an EP called Infinity. And we were there at the African Bureau of Music, is where we were recording. And this EP is going to be coming out soon, but it's like really in the same headspace, sort of exploring love and exploring thinking about like what do you want to pass on in this world, and what do you leave behind, and that's sort of the idea of infinity, that the ripples of what you can leave on this earth last forever. It's not just while you're here. So if you're going to leave something, you want to leave love. You want to leave these ripples of infinite love. So we're really excited for that project, which is going to come out in a few months. But so when you were asking about how did we get to Searching, it's like we were already kind of there. So it wasn't a big jump. It's like the world kind of imploded with Corona and with Black Lives Matter and all the violence.
Sorry for cutting you off. It's like the universe was telling us that the world at some point is going to need this kind of song. And like you keep on getting these messages and it's what you've been believing. So you begin creating the music and you don't even know what exactly it's for. But when you see the world struggling and then you see where we are right now, the world doesn't need a danceable song right now. The world doesn't need to dance right now. The world needs inspiration. The world needs healing. And it's those kinds of songs that we had already begun working on. The mission from our very first album to Searching, it's already like the same stream of like healing that you can dip yourself into, and just listen to the song and you feel connected to somebody. You feel lonely, you're looking for a hand to hold. All of us have been in those situations. So it's to offer solace to that person who is alone in his muzigo, alone somewhere in Cambodia or Lesbos, because we're having a refugee situation right now, a very dangerous situation from Syria. The world is dealing with COVID right now. In South America, you have political unrest. Basically, the whole world, it seems like, from what's going on in the news, like the world is burning up. So we don't need a song to take us to the dance floor. We need a song to inspire our souls. And like you said, anchor our souls. So that's the message for Nsimbi. Inspire love and leave this world better than we found it.
Yeah, and it's just a continuation of trends we had been seeing with people just feeling disconnected. This is just a heightened experience right now, but it's a continuation of what we've been feeling, and that's all we're trying to do with Insimbi is bring people back again, Mujay, back to the fireplace, and all the songs, everything we do is to bring people back to a place where they connect with themselves and with the people around them in everything that we do.
Simbi, what more can I say? What an evening, what a day, what a moment of catching up with you guys. I just feel like I have been downloaded new things of a sense of hope, a sense of ownership, a sense of saying, you know what, it is not yet over until God says it's over. So for so many people who are lost out there, who are feeling lonely, I think this evening has been an evening of sharing love and an evening of sharing the story that defined the path of where we have been and where we're going and shape, our next journey in life. If at all you have been listening to Nsimbi's story, that's why I chose to say Nsimbi, G.N.L and the great story of Nsimbi. That text is up on the screen right there for everyone who's seeing it, because I believe that these guys are doing something else. So you say you have 27 tracks with original, instrument from Africa? Traditional?
So yeah,
13 tracks with 27
instruments. You see, we
13 tracks with 27 instruments.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, you see, in Africa, we have a disconnect that all of us are trying to be so westernized, and you find that all these beautiful sounds of our indigenous instruments, nobody is taking the time to really archive them. And when people archive them, they are only archiving them for the Western setting. So Miriam and I were like, okay, how can we really go down to the source and recreate the sounds around where wisdom used to dwell, around where connection was the most concentrated? How do we go back there? And we wanted to go back to the beginning. And these two producers are so amazing. They put a wonderful body of work together for us on the Nsimbi album. And yeah, 13 songs with poetry from the 57 tribes of Uganda. There's actually a favorite poem of mine called A Choli Boy on this very album. Go check it out. Take a listen. It's basically archiving history and archiving sound.
What a moment, guys. Today on the show, I was talking to Baba Luku, and Baba Luku was sharing the story of how they are archiving a great history of hip-hop, and his brother got locked up somewhere in the United States before crossing back to Canada, and he had always dreamed of working and understanding how to archive the stories of hip-hop and some of the great stuff that hip-hop has as a music and as a genre. And he tells me that during the lockdown, his brother was hired, and what seems to have been gloom ended up paying him the best amount of money in some university in the US. And then he's now learned how to archive our history and our instruments and the stuff that makes great music in Africa and across the world. And I was like, okay, so it's like everything is just happening fast for Africa. The story of your music and how you just start to write things without knowing that coronavirus was going to show up, and then boom, we're here talking about 13 tracks, okay, and I don't know. I just think that the one who doesn't feel this might not be okay. Maybe you are not. Maybe you lost so much senses that you don't feel what we're saying. It's a possibility that you've lost so much sense and don't feel what you're saying. But then again, you mentioned somebody, Albert Kinobe is one of my greatest Ugandan musicians of all time.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like talented, gifted with with the traditional instruments, underrated, never appreciated in Uganda, in Africa, but appreciated in the world. Was doing world music, and to hear that Albert Kinobe has a hand in your album is such a big sense of joy for me. And guess what? He just made it last week on the list of our people to be interviewed.
Yeah.
Completely not aware that he was part of this album.
Yes.
Like they said, I mean, some spiritual things is happening.
Yeah. There is a lot of telepathy here.
He was nominated to come on for us to share the story of Albert Kinobe all the way from Uganda. The music is done before, and I was just going to write to him tomorrow in my time here, which will be Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to write to Albert and say, hey, you know what? People have nominated you, and we've been running a lot of stuff here saying we need to change the landscape of how people are doing things. There's a lot of gloom, there's a lot of cry, there's a lot of sadness right now in the African continent and in people's hearts, in people's faces. And I decided that I'm going to walk to office, work hard, and we want to change the story. We want to say, you know what? There is still hope. Like Nsimbi is saying, there is still hope. If you can find love and find somebody to hold your hand, you're going to walk past the situation we're in. So we decided that we wrote to people, and I said, name the greatest people you want to be brought forward with the stories that inspire you, will encourage you, that will help you transform your life and get better. And G.N.L made it up on the list, and I told you that, hey man, you have 98% votes.
Wow.
So Nsimbi and the story is here. Albert Kinobe has just scored 78%, and is going to be coming up on the show. And people have also nominated a man called Shaka Mayanja, and he's not aware. He's not aware of votes.
Yeah.
People are not aware, so we just wake up and then boom, we have a story. G.N.L and Miriam and Nsimbi, I want us to wrap up this interview, and I have a request here to bring you guys back to talk about your performance on world stage. People have questions here. G.N.L, are you going to continue rapping? Is that the end of G.N.L rapping and moving into the world music? What's going on? Is Nsimbi taking G.N.L away from rapping? Are we going to see more of Miriam? Somebody has written to me and says, I'm a fan of that girl. I love her. She used to sing and perform in karaoke, and I used to love her. And can you just ask
You used to do karaoke?
continue doing, jazz? Is there any jazz music as part of that album? Those are the questions coming up here.
That's fair. You take this one. Take this one.
I used to perform in the high schools. I did like the Buzz tour, and at some of the bars. Which part? Well, like a club. What were the Silk
Like
and
Club,
the,
Silk, and whatever, Rouge back in the day,
and all those. So the good thing about Insimbi is we have a lot of songs together, but when we want to do a song by ourselves, we can do a song by ourselves as well. Depends on the song and just what we feel. So there'll be more from together and by ourselves. And if you listen to the album, you'll hear that. So I think that's all regarding my side of the answer.
Yeah.
And
So
thanks for appreciating and supporting.
So yes, every time you hear Nsimbi means that it's me with Miriam. But every time you see her alone, that means she's going to be singing her stuff. Every time you see me alone, it means that I'm going to be singing my stuff. But when we come together, that means we are Nsimbi. So there's going to be a G.N.L album, which many people have been telling me to put out. And luckily, as of this morning, I have a date that I'm going to be announcing. I have the Spear album coming. But for Nsimbi, since this is a Nsimbi interview with G.N.L on it, Infinity is the EP that we are working on together. That's soon coming out. And from the side of G.N.L, which is the rap hip hop side, expect my album called The Spear.
Well, Nsimbi, you have done yourself a great show today. And I have a message from a one, Lule Arafat says, I love the show, bro, so nice and hip hop. And guys appreciating. And I have some private messages here at G.N.L for you, and as well as for Miriam, coming out from white folks and black folks. I guess you guys you have arrived in life. You have all the races with you. Some Indian guys.
Yeah, Nsimbi has fans from all over the world. So we have Asian, South American, Mexican, African, Australian, New Zealand, like Korea, everywhere we go.
So there's a question here of will you come back and perform in Uganda if COVID is done? Can we have Nsimbi do a show of part of this album and perform this album in Africa, particularly Baimba Festival? You're now doing a lot of festivals, and people are asking if there's an invitation for you guys to come and do Baimba, assuming Faisal. You know Faisal very well. Faisal and I have that's another person who has been voted to come in here to share his story of his success and what happened. And Faisal and I moved way back in time, as you know, G.N.L from Stakeout days to the moment. But people are asking, will you guys do a show if we ever go back to festivals and invite you guys to come back? Some people would like to see you live on stage in Kampala.
The answer is of course, because we as Nsimbi love being on stage. We love performing live to all our fans. We'd like to come down with the whole band of Nadav Peled, of Jose Kasekoye, Jaja Bashengezi, and probably Haba Chinobe. Together as the band Nsimbi would like to come down and perform not only on festivals like Baimba or Nyege Nyege, or we've been invited to festivals in South Africa. We've been trying to get into something in Zanzibar called Sauti za Busara. So we've been performing all over the world without coming home. So it was just about time to plan for events back home, and we had gotten a few dates locked down, and then Corona happened, and we have to respect the social distancing laws. I see so much news coming through Uganda. People think this is still a joke or that it's not real. I know we distrust the government so much, but trust me, in the US, people are dying from this disease. So the disease is real. Please stay safe. Yambala mask to protect other people. This is not a drill. This is not a hoax. I know you can distrust your government. You can hate it as much as you want, but Corona is real. We're facing a global challenge right now. I'd like to see all of you alive coming through to see my show when all of you are alive and safe, because I love you so much. Thank you. I think that's it. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's your boy G.N.L Zamba, Miriam Tama, and together we are Nsimbi. Thank you for joining us. Yes.
Last before you go.
Yeah.
I know you're running and we have to go, but that was the break. So, what is your final word, Miriam and G.N.L, to the people of Uganda and everyone around the world? Around love, finding love. Give us 3 things that we need to do to find ourselves when we listen to Nsimbi, when we listen to Mujay, when we listen to the, dunia. Dunia means the world, not so?
Yes.
I know that Miriam has not talked very much about it, but we will come back and talk about dunia and how you are singing in Kiswahili that's a whole different ballgame altogether, a new topic altogether. Right? We want to know three things. Leave us with three things that we need to do. I am lost. I need to find myself. I don't know what to do. I'm confused. Life has knocked me down and I don't know what to do. I have self-hatred. I don't know how to overcome, but here I am. I'm listening to your song. What should I do? Give me three things. Three from Miriam, three from you, G.N.L, that makes Nsimbi together. And this interview has been about Nsimbi. Although we have G.N.L, we have Miriam, we have the Zamba family talking to us right now.
Yes.
Starting with you, Miriam.
Okay. So I would say, if we're talking about using our music as well, finding time for yourself, even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes, because I know a lot of people, especially if you have kids and work, or it's really hard to find even a moment. So if you have time, even 5 or 10 minutes for yourself, just to kind of relax and be with yourself consciously. And that could be listening to music. It could be listening to Insimbi or any other music that is relaxing to you, or it could be in silence and listening to your breath. And just lying down or
So
sitting.
you're saying meditation.
Yeah, but I don't want to call it meditation because I think that's intimidating for a lot of people. It's even hard. Meditation is very hard for me. I don't think of it that way. I think of it as breathing. And just because it's breathing, taking time to just breathe, it actually helps to rewire your brain. So taking 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and people, when they think about meditating, think I have to clear my mind, and you get very frustrated. Oh, I can't clear my mind. It's too hard. So I think if you're lying there and listening to your breath in and out, or if you're just listening to some music, but you're just there focused, listening to some relaxing music that makes you feel good. And you're just breathing and listening to the music, and you're just breathing, and you're just doing that for yourself, for your own enjoyment. And with no pressure, like, oh, I have to be somewhere or anything else. You can do it in the morning, at the beginning of your day, or at night before you go to bed. So something like that, where you're just taking time, where you're saying, I'm just relaxing, even in this 5 minutes or 10 minutes, because I just need to let myself relax, because I'm just giving myself these minutes to not to try and say, I know it's stressful, I know it's hard, but I need to give myself these minutes to focus on, I'm breathing, I'm okay. Yeah. So that would be one thing. The next thing would be focusing on becoming aware of when someone telling you something hurtful, becoming aware of that hurt, that actually made you feel bad. And just starting to catch like that you're becoming angry or you're becoming hurt, and starting to slowly to become aware that you are having that reaction, and just noting in your brain, that person just made me mad. And eventually you're going to say, okay, it was their action that made me mad, and I'm going to push that away. That's on them. So first you're going to learn how to just notice. You're going to become aware that you're having that reaction. And once you're able to notice that different people are making you have a reaction inside, that's the first step, realizing that's happening. The second step is saying, well, that's on them. So that you're going to slowly create a guard to let the reaction bounce off. Third thing, allow yourself some treats here and there. Let yourself find some cookies or buy some little things here and there, just like to get through the struggle of whatever. Like indulge here and there. Whatever it might be that you like, give yourself some little gifts and acknowledge that it's a little like, man, this has been a hard day, or what a week, or what, and just say, I'm gonna go buy the cookie, whatever you like, or I'm gonna go stop at the bakery and get myself a little gift. Those are my my tips. So these are all just like self-love tips.
Mm-hmm.
These are all things just to start treating yourself better. Like these are things you would do for someone else, right? You'd say, oh, I got you this little gift, or oh, that person is full of shit. Don't let them get to you. Or you should really take care of yourself.
Don't forget we're on TV. We don't say that what shit.
You know, whatever. Okay. You know?
Cool,
So
cool.
those are my 3 advice. Now I've taken good luck finding some.
Okay, that's very easy for me. So you told us 3 things. She has given you 3, which is self-love. But my 3 are always, which is like my guiding compass in life. Explore, experience, expand. And if there is a 4th, it should be exponentially. Explore, experience, expand, exponentially. I chose the name G.N.L based upon that, because G.N.L means there is greatness of no limits within you. So you should take time to explore your greatness, to experience your greatness, and expand in your greatness. That's my number 1. That's the guiding principle. Number 2 should be, you should be able to be open-minded in everything. Never let anybody define anything for you. In life, you should always be open-minded. Whether it's somebody who's being accused that you love, don't just turn your whole thing, because your whole brain, because you just had one thing. Put yourself in their shoes. Be open-minded to forgiveness. Be open-minded to loving somebody. When your mind is not closed, that means you're open to so many other options. When your mind is closed, you're never going to be able to explore. You're never going to be able to expand or experience anything. So keep an open mind in anything. Whether you're hearing lies, keep an open mind to know that people lie, but there could be a truth somewhere when somebody is being accused. So when you have that, you leave space to pay a benefit of, give someone a benefit of doubt. So you create a better society that way. And the 3rd thing is always allow yourself to be loved. Accept love and give love. Allow yourself to accept love. So many people always give out love because they believe they should have to give out love in order to get love. But accept yourself to first receive some love for yourself before you give love. So that you're coming from a vantage point of giving. And always the hand that gives is blessed than the hand that takes. You get me? In so much greatness, when you're defining greatness of people like Mandela, of all the people that have walked the face of this earth, to Martin Luther, to all these other great leaders that we've come to know, to Marcus Aurelius, these were people who are selfless. So true greatness, when I talk about the true greatness of no limit, this means that true greatness lies in service of others. And if I were to take a bonus one, my partner thought I wasn't going to be able to come up with 3, but I even have a bonus. So if I were to find a bonus attribute to create a better society of love, is never accept anything that's given to you with a broad brush. And what do I mean by a broad brush? When anything against a people is a broad brush, let me explain. If they say all Baganda are thieves, that is a broad brush. That means you've eliminated the nuance in something, you've created a broad brush of discrimination. If they say all white people are bad, that's a brush. That means that you've accepted that a whole group of people, you're broad brushing it with a bad brush. That means you're not allowing nuance. Nothing in the world is more dangerous than saying a whole group of people is bad, because there's a danger in broad brushing everything. So that's my advice. These are all very broad lectures, very broad things. But if I were to just break it down to a broad brush, if I were to break it down to bullet points, to me, those are the building blocks of a better society, of finding love and forgiveness in each other and allowing each other to grow even when we stumble and make mistakes. None of us is perfect. All of us are trying to be the best version of ourselves.
Wow.
Yeah.
Guys,
Yeah.
If you've been listening to G.N.L and you've been listening to Miriam and you've been listening to the great story of Nsimbi, you're blessed.
Yeah.
There are very few people in the world who can give you those words. And there are very few people in the world who can allow to give their time to you when you're not paying for it. The world has been about money, 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 money. And the world we're in right now is saying, can I live to give somebody something of me that they can be grateful? G.N.L, thank you very much. Miriam, thank you very much. And Nsimbi, the great story behind Nsimbi, thank you very much. Just as you go, we want you to sing a part of that song for us in your own voice.
Searching?
Are you ready for it?
Yeah, but I want one where we both going to participate. So let's go.
Say that again.
I want one where in searching I was only directing. So I want one where I'm also going to participate in this. Miriam, take it away. Take it away. Searching. Do searching first. Sing the chorus.
We're all just searching.
So Miriam is going to do searching, that bit of the song. We want to hear her voice as raw as that.
Most definitely. Yeah.
Muje or Dunia. Which one do you want, G.N.L?
Oh, I have a special surprise for you. I have a special surprise for you. You go.
Knock it up.
We're all just searching, something to put our hearts in. We're all just reaching for something, somewhere, something. We're all just searching, something to put our hearts in. We're all just reaching for someone, somewhere, something. Oh, na na, eh, oh. 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 We're all just searching for love.
Yeah.
So I was taking a moment in Miriam when you're singing, right?
Yeah.
All right, G.N.L, your turn. Give us the surprise.
Blooming in darkness,
Depends in
who
you are.
Love is a flower that does not need the sun. Shining in darkness,
Halitaki jua.
love is a flower that does not need the sun. Uwala moyo, flower of the heart. Uwala moyo, flower of the heart. Uwala moyo, flower of the heart. Hey, yeah. Thank you so much for having us on HTV Radio Killer. We thank you for the time.
Thank you so much.
Guys, thank you very much for that great moment. Thank you very much for giving us the energy. Thank you very much. And we're going to be doing, I think you've just given us a sneak peek of what is part of the album, I guess. So I cannot wait to hear the rest of the album. G.N.L and Miriam, thank you very much, guys, for coming and for being a part of the show today. We'll be talking to you and to everyone. We'll be letting you know when G.N.L and Nsimbi will be back on the show. And if we can do the next Sunday, we will let you know. We'll announce it based on your request. But thank you very much, guys, for being part of the show. I really love you and continue doing the great work that you are doing and continue to touch lives, as many lives as possible. Who knows? You may find yourself in heaven tomorrow. It will be a place for you.
Yeah.
To say you did the greatest thing that humanity needed. A story is told, and I want to leave you with this story. It's told G.N.L and Miriam, and of course, Nsimbi. A story is told of a man who died. A taxi driver died and showed up in heaven. And so other Catholic priest died, and they both showed up in heaven. So at the gate of heaven, there was St. Peter's. As you know, Peter in the Bible, we read about him, and he was standing. So when Father arrived, said, "Oh, thank you very much, Father, for coming, and here is your key, and here is that right there is your place." So Father walked and went to his place, and the taxi driver came, and he says, "Oh, thank you very much for coming." They handed him a gold key to a palace, and thank you very much for what you have done. And the priest or father ran back to say, "No, no, 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 that's not true. It shouldn't be. You see, I was a priest, I prayed, I preached, I talked about God all the time." St. Peter said, "Oh, that was good. That's good, priest. But the taxi driver, every time he drove, people prayed to God and says, 'Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.' So he preached more gospel than you did because they were praying to God at the moment of need. So he went to a smaller place, and the priest went to another place. So and St. Peter explained and says, 'Here we deal with impact and how many lives you have touched.'"
Yes.
I would like to leave with that, G.N.L and the story of Nsimbi while we come back to the show. And for everyone else, G.N.L and Nsimbi, good night, guys. Chew on that word and feel okay and stay blessed. And this is HTV, and I would like to bring you Nsimbi. Here we go with Nsimbi. If you're watching the show, thank you very much for being part of the show. Here is G.N.L and the wife, and the story of Nsimbi on the program. All right, let's do it one more time, everybody. Good to go.
Thank you. That was nice. That was with Eddie Okila. Thank you so much for spending time with us. We had to do another last bit of the show. Kim Fame, I see you're waiting. Thank you so much, my brother. Isaac Wandron is like, "Hi, blood." Thank you so much. He's like, "Love you, G.N.L. We love you too. I love the brand. Nsimbi and Baboon Forest." Thank you, Fahad Gumira. Tubagalanyo. Kim Fem is like, "Love the couple." Chakavi. Searching is dope. Oh my God. Thanks, pals. Respect. We respect you too. Thank you so much for supporting the brand. And we'll be doing more of these interviews for you and occupying this space. That's the song Searching. You can watch it on our channel. Whereby you support love. Tubagalanyo. Peace.
Bye, everyone.
Put more love into the world. Let's heal the world. Let's start a revolution of love.